Hi, this is Richard Blade, and you're listening to the Blue Zone Podcast Network as it presents Permanent Record, an in-depth look at the classic albums of the 70s and 80s, albums which have earned a permanent place of honor, both in our hearts and in our record collections.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends of all ages and all around the world, in the past, we would record emergency episodes when important things happen, like Depeche Mode releasing new singles.
That's
do you remember?
Right, yes.
Well, we had a fantastic night at the cinema last night.
Indeed, we did. So we wanted to bring you our review of this wonderful movie that we saw last night because we thought this was worthy of an emergency episode.
It was indeed, and this movie has quite possibly the longest title of any movie I've ever seen. The Cure, Anniversary, 1978 to 2018, live in Hyde Park, London.
Wow, that is a very long title. I mean, that puts Pet Shop Boys song titles to shame.
It does. Yep. So leave it to Robert Smith and the boys to release an awesome movie that is a mouthful of words to say. And you know what, Sarah, as I was walking into the theater to see this Tim Pope directed film, you know what the first thing on the top of mind was for me?
I can't imagine.
Well, you guys just released Cure in Orange on Blu-ray.
Oh, I know. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's a really good point. And I really liked what you said as we left the theater. Now they need to bring this movie out on Blu-ray and attach the Cure in Orange with it as a double big...
That would be amazing.
A double package.
Oh, man, that would be incredible.
Yeah.
Plus with the soundtrack CD, 4 CDs that have the soundtrack for each. Probably have to be more than 4 CDs.
Probably.
Big collector's box. Charge us an outrageous amount of money for it.
People would buy it, no doubt.
People would definitely buy it. At first, I was thinking release this and put a hidden Easter egg, put the Cure in Orange on
good
as
grief.
an Easter egg.
Oh, that would be almost cruel.
But
they need to publicize if they're doing Cure in Orange.
Very true. All right, so who else saw the show last night?
Well, I did.
Oh, you did? All right.
I was there with you. And I would say, the theater had a good number of people in it, for a Thursday night. Probably 2/3 full, you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was about 2/3 full.
Yeah. And we had to drive about an hour away to find a theater that was showing it.
And it was definitely worth the trip. I would have driven twice as long to see it because it was just an amazing film, amazing set list, great performance. And you know what? This film, more than even the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, has me so excited about this lineup of The Cure, this current lineup.
Yes.
They're so good.
Yes, that is exactly what I was thinking as I watched them perform this wonderful set list. I mean, a lot of them have played together for so many years. Obviously, Simon Gallup is the longest member of The Cure now besides Robert.
Yeah.
But Roger O'Donnell is there again, and I was saying to you during the show, I'm like, so glad that they have a keyboard player again. They really need a keyboard player. Jason Cooper is a tremendous drummer. And then, of course, we cannot forget Reeves Gabrels.
Reeves Gabrels, our friend from his years with David Bowie.
Right.
And I love seeing him with Cure. I don't know, some people just don't think that his guitar style fits in as well as some of the other people who have played with Cure. But really, I think he's really adapted his style of playing to fit in.
Yeah.
The only thing... We'll talk about this because it was one of my favorite parts of the concert, but the only time that I really even said to myself, like, oh, I'm hearing a little bit of Reeves Gabrels' kind of progressive and aggressive guitar style was one song.
Yeah.
And I specifically want to talk about that one when we get to it because I loved it. So we will talk about that. But
yeah.
Reeves Gabrels, I just have this weird connection to him. I mean, I really don't. But
not like personal connection.
No, I feel like I do because, him being with Bowie for so many years and the album Earthling is really whenever we started to love Bowie.
Right.
And his guitar was so important on that record.
For sure, yeah.
And then a few years ago, he got married. I remember I posted, congratulations to Reeves and his wife's name. I can't remember what her name is now, but she liked the post. I thought that was crazy.
Yeah, that was very sweet.
So yeah, this movie got me... I was already into The Cure because we had just finished up our 4 weeks of talking about Disintegration.
Yeah.
And
we're still a little bit on a Cure high.
Yeah, and some of our friends who listened to the podcast were really nice to us, and since we finished those episodes, we've gotten videos of the Sydney Opera House performance and Glastonbury performance. People have been taking good care of us.
They really
awesome.
have, yeah.
So, Cure has been top of mind, and this has just made them rise even more to the top here with this great movie.
Yeah, we might as well call it the Summer of the Cure.
This is the Summer of the Cure. Before we talk about the film specifically, let's just talk about some of the facts and tidbits of information about the film.
Yeah, sure.
So once again, this is directed by their old friend Tim Pope, who's done so many great videos for them over the years.
Right. He is so closely aligned with The Cure and their image and especially their visual image, obviously. And he's just like part of the Cure family. And he does such a good job of, in this film especially, portraying the Cure in a very intimate and familiar way, and gets across, though, the scope and the grandeur of this particular concert.
So true. And what you said right there sort of supports him and what his goal was. He said he wanted to make a film that was really cinematic and at the same time put us inside the music. He said, I wanted you to be closer to the Cure than you have ever been. You really do get that feeling with this film.
Yeah, you're almost like face to face with them, really. What an incredible thing. poor Robert may not agree. But,
Yep, Robert said that the first human face he saw in this movie was him up there on the big screen in 4K, and he said it was quite terrifying.
Yeah, he acknowledges he doesn't look his best anymore. Although, as you were saying to me on the way home last night, he looks better than he did about 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, I think he looks pretty good right now. I mean, there were time periods, like if you remember the video for Just Say Yes, the duet he did with the girl from Republica.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked way worse back then than he does now.
Yeah, he's Fat Bob, but we still love him.
We do. He's been fatter Bob than he is now. I think he looks fine. Jason Cooper, I think he's trying to show off how much hair he can grow at his age. His hair is sticking straight up in the air.
Yeah.
And it's like 1.5 feet long.
Right. Yeah, he has not gotten rid of a big hair. I mean, it's not big all the way around.
Right.
Yeah.
Roger O'Donnell kind of looks like he's trying to look like Professor Snape.
Oh.
Or Snape from Harry Potter. Is that his name?
Snape, yeah. Yeah, in a way, I could see that.
Kind of looks like that. Reeves looks cool. He's like
I'm so glad he cut his hair.
Yeah, he looks...
Oh,
when
my
we
gosh.
saw him a couple years ago, he had like long hair.
Yeah.
Now he has it cut real short with like his beard and mustache are the same length.
Yeah.
And he looks really good.
Yeah,
That's what I wish I looked like. I wish my hair would turn white.
Okay.
So I could look like that.
You want to look like Reeves Gabrell.
I do. I want to. He looked really cool. And like I have all this white hair in my beard, but I have this annoying, what little hair I have on top will not turn gray or white. It's annoying. And then Simon, he always looks the same.
He does. He seriously looks the same as he has for the past 20 plus years.
Yep. He looks a little sleepy, I think.
Yeah, a little sleepy. He was probably not happy to be up in the middle of the day or whatever it was.
Right, and he moves more than anybody else in the band.
Well, right.
Well, other than Jason Cooper, he's doing more physical activity.
Yeah, true.
Like I thought Jason Cooper was actually going to have a heart attack during the drum part of jumping someone else's train.
Yes. He looked seriously stressed. Like
know.
that. Oh my gosh. I thought, oh my, dude, calm down, And then they went right into Grinding Halt.
Grinding Halt?
Yeah, they did Grinding Halt. And I was like, oh my gosh, give the guy a break.
As that was happening, I was thinking like maybe like these early Cure songs, maybe you should only use like real young drummers for these that are in incredible shape and aren't at risk of heart attack.
Well, he pulled it off.
He did.
He made it through alive.
Yeah, he did a great job. And I think we mentioned in Disintegration that people like to pick on him.
Yes.
Because he's not Boris. I think he did a great job.
As we get through the songs, I'm going to reiterate that.
Cool. So another great thing about the movie, the 5.1 surround sound audio sounded amazing in the theater.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to be great to have this at home.
Yeah.
But
we have a decent system.
But it was awesome to hear it in a real theater.
Yeah.
And that mix was made by Robert and Paul Corkett at Abbey Road Studios. 2 points about that. Paul, of course, was the producer of my favorite like post-classic Cure album. He was the producer of Blood Flowers.
Okay.
Which is my favorite of all their albums.
After Wish, basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I like hearing and seeing the words that it was mixed at Abbey Road Studios.
Sure.
Because in this day and age, everybody's working at their home studios, and you can work on songs on the road because in your iPad, you have, a more powerful recording studio than what they had in the 80s, like in a whole studio.
Yeah.
But it's cool to just get like back to like the glory days of pop music and see that name again. Not because of the Beatles connection, just because
it's an iconic studio.
It is iconic, and it's great to be involved with a project that people at the label are spending money on to let you work in some place that awesome. Yeah. Rather than, we went back to Simon's home studio and worked on the 5.1 sound.
Yeah. It's funny. It's kind of almost, I don't want to say full circle, but, we talked about when they recorded Disintegration and how they wanted to get away from it all. And they went to Simon's house and they
No, it was Boris's house.
Boris's house. Yeah. And they were there, and that was like a special thing. And now that's probably more the norm
Oh, yeah.
to just record on your home. And now it's maybe more of a big deal to go to a studio.
Right.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah. So this movie was released. It's the anniversary movie. It was 40 years to the weekend that they played their first gig in Crawley.
Yes.
As The Cure.
Right.
Because they were Easy Cure before that, and they probably had some other names that I can't remember. But that was the first time they played under the name The Cure.
Right.
So that was the occasion of this concert.
Yeah, and at the very end of the show, Robert does talk about that.
He may have spoken about that. I wouldn't know.
Well, yes, he did. And I have a review that actually says what he said, which was good because I did have trouble understanding what he said when he talked.
Tim Pope, he filmed this movie. He's also working on a documentary of The Cure. Robert just gave him like tons of stuff to go through, sort through, and kind of put into a documentary movie. But it's going to take a long time, and he's not exactly sure what he's doing with it. So he said it is going to come out, but I have no idea when.
Yeah,
I don't know when.
I'm
it's going to
sure.
come.
Yeah, that will take some effort, but I have no doubt that when it finally comes out, it will be amazing.
Yeah.
Robert Smith seems to be a bit of a pack rat as far as collecting and accumulating things. He keeps things. So I'm sure that all the stuff that he gave Tim Pope was probably very voluminous.
I'm sure. Yeah, and luckily he does keep all that stuff because it allowed for those great reissues of all the albums to come out over the past 10 years or so. We got those great 2 and 3 disc sets.
Right.
So that was cool. So, Paul, we're going to talk about the songs here in a second. Tim Pope, I don't know why I said Paul. Tim Pope, he was talking about this movie compared to his last movie and how it fits into the timeline of The Cure. I thought this was interesting. He said that he feels that Cure in Orange was the first act climax of the band. Like, it wrapped up the first part of their career. They've made some progress with The Head on the Door, and they're about to break big all over the world with Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me.
Okay.
And then he said that this film is a second act climax, drawing a line in the sand as we prepare for the new album, which will supposedly be coming out later this year. I know what he's talking about. I think I would put this as a third act climax.
I would as well.
To include like the last 4 albums in with Disintegration and Wish. He's going too broad.
Yeah.
And that first half of the timeline is just so much more huge than the second half of the timeline.
Yes.
I think most fans would say Wish.
The Wish tour.
Would be the end of the second
That's what I was thinking.
act climax. This can be the end of the third act climax.
Yep.
And he says that he's been talking with Robert and he's heard some of these songs that are going to be on the new album. Gloomy songs, they're long songs, and the band is going back to the pits of hell.
Oh, no. Oh,
Yep.
Oh.
So he says he doesn't want to speak out of school because he doesn't really know for sure, but he doesn't know how many of these classic songs we're going to ever hear again live.
Oh,
Because
wow.
that's just not the direction where this album is taking the band, and he doesn't know how much longer the band's going to be around.
Right.
So if they finish in this fourth act, we'll call it, this fourth act is going to be dark and not popish. So there may not be a chance to play these songs again live.
Well, we shall see.
We shall indeed. But if this was the final time that we were going to get to enjoy these tracks live, this was a great way to do it.
Absolutely.
So you have a review of the movie? Is that what you said?
This is from New City Film, and they just did it. I mean, this is a brand new review. Many middle-aged musicians turn shit, not limited to Morrissey. The 2-hour plus The Cure anniversary, 1978 to 2018, live in Hyde Park, London. Whew, that's a mouthful. Demonstrates every nice thing that's been said about the Gone to Grey with the same makeup, Robert Smith and The Cure. Plus, the sound is mixed to be louder. If you know the songs, love the songs, even like the songs, it's sweetly euphoric. The only bittersweet element, time itself. Yet it is also the strength. These guys know how to play these songs, and Tim Pope's widescreen filming of the 40th anniversary show captures the playfully neon stage settings in unfussy style. Plus, the sound? Yeah, that's what's pointed me towards the show. It sounds great.
It sounded
and that's
awesome.
All in caps. Or as Smith calls it, 2 hours on, a effing excellent experience. So, I think that's a good summary of the review.
I'm glad they stressed how good it sounded because it really did.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Maybe Cure in Orange sounds that good too. It's just I've only ever seen it on my TV.
Right.
Because
on a VHS tape, right?
Yeah, right. And that was one of the things I was thinking about last night as the show was starting. I was thinking how lucky we were to be there because I remember back when Cure in Orange was out, there was no internet. I couldn't figure out the closest theater that was going to be showing it. I imagined, it was showing somewhere in Philly because Philly was the closest big city to us.
Right.
So I was like, somewhere in Philly, they must be showing this movie. I would get the Philadelphia Inquirer or newspaper and go through the movie sections to find out, like, is it showing this week? I had no idea how to see that movie.
Yeah, it was just like this black hole of you had no idea. It was out there, but you don't know where or how or when or anything.
Yeah, and I don't know why I was like looking for it so diligently, because if I found it, I would just been more upset because my parents weren't going to drive me to Philadelphia to see a movie.
Right. And you couldn't drive yourself.
But that was top of mind as I was watching the movie last night. The internet is terrible in some ways.
Yeah.
It's good in a lot of ways. I mean, if it wasn't for the internet,
we wouldn't have this.
We wouldn't have this show.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have met all these great people.
Right.
And also I wouldn't have known, that this movie was showing 56 miles from our house, and we could just get a ticket online and go see it. So it was amazing.
I know. I'm so glad we got to go.
So let's talk about the actual film, the music, the performances. The set list was almost 30 songs.
Right.
So why don't we take it in groups of 5? We're going to go through the set list, tell you what they played in groups of 5. We'll each pick one of the 5 songs, one out of each set of 5 that we really were impressed by and want to talk about. If you want to say something about 3 of the 5, go ahead and do it. But we'll just use it as kind of like a rough guideline for the show.
Yep.
All right. So the first 5 songs. Oh, yeah. All right. The opening song was Plain Song. They followed that up with Pictures of You. The third song was High from Wish. Mm-hmm. A Night Like This, and then The Walk.
Right.
So that was the first 5 songs. Plain Song, Pictures of You, High, A Night Like This, and The Walk. We're laughing because as the film started...
And you could hear the chimes.
And you could hear the chimes of Plain Song ringing out. I turned to Sarah and said, do you think they'll open with Shake Dog Shake?
And I laughed. I said, no, I don't think so.
But I wasn't even trying to be stupid. I had not realized what I was hearing for some reason.
Yeah, that was really funny.
So when you hear those chimes, it's crazy because it's broad daylight out.
Oh, I know.
And the stage looks awesome.
Oh, yeah.
It was very visually attractive.
Yeah. How they have those big, and I assume they're fake, trees that kind of frame the main part of the stage.
Right.
They're just these enormous tree trunks. They look like they could be something in Middle Earth, and the big tree tops kind of go over the top of the canopy. And then there's all these other screens that I didn't even realize it was for video screens at first, because I think they were all kind of black for the first song.
Okay. Yeah, but to the left and to the right of the stage, you saw the video screens. The crowd was so huge.
Oh, my gosh,
65,000 plus, I think it was.
Yes.
That, they had video screens out in the crowd.
Correct.
So people way in the back could see.
Right.
Hyde Park, just before we go any further, Hyde Park, we actually saw Hyde Park on our honeymoon trip to London.
Yeah.
We were excited to see it because of Hyde Park being like the spot of a big free Queen concert.
That's right.
Back in, I think, 76.
Yeah, that's right.
So we were excited to see that. And so it was cool to see Hyde Park again, place that is now ingrained into the mythology of 2 of our favorite bands.
Oh, sure.
So out of those songs, Sarah, those 5 songs, which one stood out the most to you?
Wow. I think I was surprised that they went from High into A Night Like This. That was a shock, and I was very pleased. I was happy to hear A Night Like This, and no sax solo.
No sax solo, and that's what I was so excited about with Reeves Gabrels. He played the sax solo on his guitar.
Yeah.
And that was the one point of the concert where I could hear a little bit of Reeves' natural guitar tendencies kind of fit in there, because he was wailing on there. And he did it. I thought it sounded great.
Yeah. Well, if you recall from when we discussed the Head on the Door album and Colby was with us, both of us were like, why'd they use a sax on this song? I'm usually all for sax, but it sounded very wrong for a Cure song to have a sax solo. I mean, it's like every 80s song had a sax solo. Why are they doing this? They're more innovative than that. I was really happy to hear the guitar solo in this song on this iteration, and I thought it was cool. It did add that kind of grit and edge that you certainly don't have in the normal version of the song, but I really liked it.
Yeah, it sounded great. I think in that episode about the Head on the Door, I think I was the one who liked the sax.
Yeah, it was a complete flip-flop.
It doesn't sound... Well, not a complete flip-flop, Sarah, because I'm trying to rebuild my image. I'm not against saxophone.
Well, no.
Just the sax in the working hour.
Oh, right.
Tears for Fears.
Yeah.
But to my ear, the saxophone does not date the song. I was not able to convince you guys. I think it has a very interesting, kind of timeless, cool sound to it. But I was fine with it being gone. I thought maybe Roger was going to play something saxophony on the synth or something.
Yeah.
But I like what they did a lot better. It was nice to see Reeves kind of unleash himself.
Right. And so early on, it's like, oh, how is he going to contribute? He's, like we said, the newest member of the band, and he hasn't written any of these songs. So how is he going to kind of make his contribution? How is he going to make these songs his own? And he showed that very well in that song.
Yep. A song that I was super excited to see was The Walk.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime I hear a Cure live performance, like I listened to the Cure Unplugged CD, that was the bonus for the Greatest Hits CD. You know, they did the Greatest Hits, and a second disc had all the same songs, but they were unplugged.
Yeah.
And since they were sort of doing them just live in the studio, every single song starts with Jason banging his drumsticks together.
Yeah,
or whoever the drummer was on
yeah,
it.
counting off.
For some reason, every time I hear the 1, 2, 3, 4 drumsticks count off of The Walk, I know immediately that it's The Walk.
Oh, wow.
I guess I have that tempo
Yeah.
etched in my mind. That's always been one of my favorite songs. I think that's the song I watch more than any other song on The Cure and Orange.
Oh, wow.
So I was super excited to see that one.
Yeah.
Rob Smith always does
Rob Smith.
cool dancing to that one.
Oh, yeah, cool. Yes, as cool as he can be.
Yep.
But yeah, you're right.
And I love that song just because it's part of that synth-heavy era of The Cure.
Yeah.
So it was great to see that. I thought it sounded awesome.
I'm going to veer off topic a little bit. We saw that song performed live 3 years ago at Merriweather Post Pavilion. And what I thought was the most incredible thing was that I had noticed off to the side of the stage, up in the front, there was someone doing sign language.
That's right.
For the song, well, for the whole concert. And there were people trading off. And I remember filming the person doing the sign language for that song because I thought of the video.
Yeah, right.
I should try and find that and see if I could upload that because I think that would be really funny.
That was such a weird thing. Like that whole, I don't know, maybe it was like a class that was practicing sign language because it wasn't always the same person doing the song.
No, they had to trade off.
They swap songs.
Yeah.
And they were just signing the lyrics to the songs
Yeah.
as they were performed.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, why are they doing that? And then I was like, well, that's actually like a really good, if it is a class, that's a really good exercise.
Yeah, because it's so fast,
Yeah.
the delivery.
So it's just like if you had a job like signing someone's speech.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it was cool.
I think about that every now and again. I haven't thought about it for a while, but I wish there was some way we could find out for sure what was going on.
Yeah.
That's my opinion until I learn otherwise. It was just like an exercise for a class.
Yeah, but I didn't see any sign language in the film the other night, last night.
And out of those first 5 songs, I was surprised at how much I enjoyed hearing High because I often think that I don't really like that song.
Oh, I love that song.
But then when I hear it, I'm always like, oh, no, this is a good song. It sounded great.
Yeah, it's like a rush of happiness when you hear those sweet notes come in. And it is a sweet song.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, definitely. And that was the first single taken from the Wish album.
Yes.
So it is, that classic lineup of The Cure. I think, removed a couple decades from that classic lineup, I think it's probably one of their lesser singles. Like when you talk about the classic lineup.
It's not an iconic single,
Right.
but it's still, well received. And yeah, I liked it.
All right. So then the next 5 songs, Sarah, what were those?
The End of the World, Love Song, Push, In Between Days, and Just Like Heaven. Wow.
I know which one you're going to talk about.
Well, I will. But what I do have to say is after the walk ended and I heard this guitar, I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, I think it's going to be an old one. And then it turned out being the newest song in the whole lineup. I was like, oh, well, I called that wrong.
They did play some chords or something that did sound old because I sort of had the same thought. I was like, that sounds like something
It sounded really old, like from 17 seconds or something.
I thought it sounded like something from 3 Imaginary
Wow.
Boys. So I laughed at you, but I also had sort of been thinking the same thing.
Oh, thanks.
So out of this stretch of songs, I, of course, was most happy to hear Just Like Heaven as the stereotypical 80s new wave Cure fan that I am.
Yeah.
That's the one of their major singles. I was very happy to hear that, but I knew they were going to play it. I also enjoyed hearing The End of the World, but here's the thing. I do like that song quite a bit. Like I was talking today with my friend Tim online about this, and I said the movie had a great set list. It was an awesome performance and a great set list. I'm very excited about these songs that they played.
Yes.
There's only one song that I would have swapped out.
Okay.
And he was sort of down on the set list a little bit because of what wasn't played. And I was thinking, man, that's sort of like trying to prove a negative.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you should criticize the set list for what it doesn't have, but instead, really enjoy what it does have because there's so many iconic songs. But I guess this one is too recent to have been an iconic song. And this is one that he said, he would have preferred maybe something else. But I don't know. I really like the song. it's from that self-titled album, The Cure, which
Yeah.
is my least favorite Cure album, probably. Well, second least favorite, maybe. But this is a moment on that album that is very traditional Cure-ish sounding.
Yeah,
And
I
I
agree.
think holds up with some of their more classic tunes.
Yeah. And talking about the set list in that Rolling Stone article, the interview with Robert Smith, they addressed the set list. For the 40th anniversary show, Robert picked the songs that an audience would want to hear, he said. He said, knowing that we've sold 65,000 tickets, you think this isn't a normal show. We've got to acknowledge that a lot of people are going there for the whole day. So we approached it more as a festival. Certain clusters of songs I just know work really well together. I thought there's no point in trying to shoehorn B-sides or obscure songs into the set because we would lose people in 5 or 6 minutes. So I think we knew the set was going to work before we walked out on stage.
Cool. So, yeah, that song is new, but it was a pretty successful single for them, I think.
Yeah.
There's going to be generations of fans here at this concert.
Right,
So there are
right.
probably some young fans that this is,
The Cure
a
that they
big
know.
Cure, right.
Right. That may be how they were introduced to The Cure. Right.
Now, having said that, I like the song a lot, and I have no problem with it being in their set list. They did it when we saw them
Yes.
3 years ago. But I love the song Alt End from that same
yeah.
album. That's an amazing song.
Yeah.
And I would love to hear that one broken out sometime live.
Yeah. If I had to pick an album track from that album, I may have swapped it out with, instead of The End of the World, Alt End.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe that was the single. I think it was the second single off that album.
Yeah.
Probably it didn't do as well, so that's why they don't ever consider it. But it is such a great song.
It is.
It has that awesome bass line.
Yeah.
Simon does so many great bass lines.
He does. And he was crawling around on the ground almost.
Yeah, he gets low down like Peter Hook.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like hunched over, bent down. And I'm like, I don't know why he does that, but it cracks me up. Yeah.
So out of those 5 songs, Sarah, which one,
Well.
as if I don't know, stood out
yeah.
for you?
Well, I know you'll be surprised to hear that my favorite in that little group was Push.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, you saw how happy I got when they do. I was like, yes. I love that song. It's one of my very favorites. And they did such an amazing job. And this is where I will give Jason Cooper all the props for doing some of the most fantastic drumming. Because, that song already has some great drums on it. But
Right.
he just kicked it up about 3 notches in that live performance. They're just huge. It was an amazingly dynamic and powerful and huge sound. I just loved it. The drums were great. And just the whole, I love that song. So I'm going to just gush about it.
It was great, and I really enjoyed it. It made me think. I think when we did those episodes, you and Colby loved the song. I think I was this isn't my favorite song on the album, and I was kind of down on it a little bit. But it was a really great song in that movie. When the drum, whatever drum it is, it's like a cymbal crash, and then go.
Yeah.
That part of the song is just like euphoric.
Yeah.
I bet you like the whole stadium probably was like singing that part starts
right.
and they start singing it.
It's a really, really, really good song live because it is more like a jam song because it has such a super long intro, but it's really energetic. You're just really getting into it. And then finally here come the vocals and it's just like cathartic almost.
Right,
so
right.
yeah, I just loved that.
And I think it's a favorite of Cure fans everywhere. Just from the time we've seen it live and watching that movie. And
Yeah.
I think people really, really love that song. I should have probably given it a bit more credit than I did on our
Well,
podcast.
you can redeem yourself here. And of course, doing those 3 boom, boom, boom right together, that was super well done. Perfect. Having Push go right into In Between Days, go right into Just Like Heaven. That just flowed so well.
It really did. So we've mentioned every song out of those 5 now except for Love Song. For the record, I enjoyed Love Song. I think on our Disintegration podcast, I said I don't always leave it on the radio because it's so overplayed compared to every other Cure song. But I enjoyed it last night. It was great to see. They sounded really good on it.
Oh, yeah.
He played that cool acoustic guitar with the star on it.
Yeah.
So, I have nothing against that song. It's enjoyable, and I do love it.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yep.
All right, so that brings us to the next set of 5 songs. If Only Tonight We Could Sleep, Play for Today, A Forest, Shake Dog Shake, and Burn.
Oh,
You know what?
man.
I have something to say about each of these songs.
Yeah, I bet you do. It's going to be hard. Like, yeah, I like that you were trying to rein us in by saying only talk about one of these 5, but it's hard because they're all really memorable and notable.
All right, let's just go down the list of 5.
Okay, all right.
All right, If Only Tonight We Could Sleep.
That was a surprise.
That was a surprise, an unpleasant surprise for me.
Ooh.
I enjoyed the way it was filmed. I actually liked watching them play the way the inner winding guitar parts go throughout that song.
Yeah.
Robert playing one guitar part, Reeves is playing another, the bass is going.
Yeah.
It's impressive. I just don't like that song. That's always been one of my least favorite songs on Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me. I probably the only one I probably like less is Shiver and Shake.
Okay.
So I wasn't really happy to see it, but I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
It was fun watching them play it.
I would agree. As far as it's certainly not in my top 20 favorite Cure songs. Like I said, it was a surprise. It was kind of nice that they did that pull. I don't know if that was a single. Like,
I don't think it was.
yeah, so it
I
was
think there were only 4 singles from Kiss Me, like the 3 main ones, and Catch.
Oh, right. Yeah, so I mean, it was kind of, I like the fact that they played it just because it's like, oh, here's a little something for all you real fans or whatever. But yeah, there are certainly other songs I would have probably liked hearing. I would have liked to hear Catch
Oh, yeah, me
instead.
too. That's what I think I said in the car. I would have preferred I think I was singing How Beautiful They Are.
Yeah, no, I'd rather see Catch.
Yeah, me too, actually. So the next one on the list. Play for today. You
Yay!
already have a huge smile on
Yes.
your face.
Oh my gosh. Another one of my very, very favorite songs. And another one that is just so amazing live because the crowd participation.
Yep.
You know, everybody does that everywhere for how many years now that they've been doing that. And it's just so fun. It's just wonderful.
My foot was tapping out of control
No.
in that song.
My feet were going crazy the whole song or the whole concert. But yeah. That's a lot of fun. And the drums in that are really good too. And his delivery was good.
His vocals?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were awesome. He sounded fantastic on everything.
He really did. Yeah, no complaints at all about his voice, his delivery. Interesting to know, we talked so much about in Disintegration how his delivery was so important to the feeling of the songs. And yet he changes it up, obviously, in these live settings and still can evoke similar emotions using different vocal styles and even different melody patterns.
That was a great song, and it's from that, sort of early era of The Cure. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what are they going to segue into? It's going to be jarring to go from this song to something, that's not in that same style. Uh-huh. And then something I couldn't believe, I thought this song was going to be the last song they played before they left for the encore for some reason. I would have bet money, I don't know why. But they went from this song into A Forest.
Yeah.
Which is a very similar sound.
Right.
It worked really well as a transition, and A Forest, I think, is one of their most popular songs of all time.
It really is. Yeah, people love that one. And it was cool to see in the background on the video screens. It looked like the video from, the original video with those kind of negative, almost looking forest scenes and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Do you remember that?
I don't remember it, but
okay.
I think I was completely focused on the bass line.
Oh, yeah. Were you super worried at the end that Simon was not going to resolve that last note?
Yep.
Yeah, and he kind of didn't for a little bit too long, and then he did.
Yep.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Simon.
Yeah.
So that was great to hear. Like I said, it came earlier than I thought it was going to be, but that's one of my favorite songs by The Cure.
Yeah, that's a really classic one.
And then they followed that up with one that, I used to really look down on this album. It wasn't nearly a good album in my eyes.
Yeah.
And over the years, I've come to enjoy it quite a bit. And this song I like more and more as time goes on, Shake Dog Shake.
Take
Yeah.
a song that they were starting a lot of concerts with recently.
Yeah, so interesting. You know, they started off their Rock and Roll Hall of Fame set with this song, and I was like, wow, look at that. And yeah, so it's kind of, well, I won't say buried, but because how far are we now? Oh,
Song
yeah.
14.
Okay. Yeah, so it's like basically halfway through the set.
Right.
And here this comes. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a great song because it's so aggressive.
Yes.
But it's not like hard to listen to aggressive. It's not like Give Me It
Yeah.
or something that sounds unpleasant. This is a really good song. I'm discovering as time goes on, more and more people love this song.
Yeah.
And their performance of it is great. You get some raw Reeves Gabrels a little bit on here. Not as much as on a night like this, I don't think, but I think he really adds to the impact of this tune.
Yeah.
And I know that you had some issues with the way this was filmed,
Yeah.
but I really liked it.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because, you know, for a lot of the first several songs, I mean, I think that the filming style and the editing style was very straightforward, and I really appreciated that. It was a lot of regular shots of the band, and, you know, there were certainly cuts, but nothing that seemed really weird. Not a lot of really weird effects that I can recall. And this is the first song where I'm like, all right, guys, Tim, you're going a little crazy. It's so shaky.
Shaky cam?
Yeah, it's shaky and it's out of focus. And it's like, I don't know. I was distracted by that. And I know why they did it because the song was shaked out shake. So they're making it shaky.
Yep, and it adds to the urgency, I think, of the music.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of trick they did in Cure and Orange with Give Me It. He did like all these blurry shots and shaky cam during that.
Yeah.
It just didn't work as well because Give Me It is not a very good song.
Yeah.
But here I thought it worked really well.
Yeah, I mean, I got through it obviously, but I'm not always the biggest fan. I'm like, I want to see the band, but like I get why he did it. So
Yeah. And the quick cuts, I'm glad you mentioned the quick cuts. I wanted to say something.
Yeah.
This whole film does have those quick cuts that we are now used to
Yeah.
in our music videos because of music videos on MTV, and
Yeah.
that's how that genre has developed. It was nothing as nearly as terrible as like the Depeche Mode touring the Angel
Yeah,
video,
right.
where the cuts are insanely quick.
Yeah, you don't even get a chance to register what you're seeing before
Yeah.
you're on the next cut.
Yeah, they
These
did a
were
really good
reasonable.
job with it.
Yeah, I'm fine with the quick cuts now as long as they're not so quick and so arbitrary. Like I don't want to go from Robert's face to like Simon's foot or something.
Yeah,
it's like
right.
when they do that, it's like, why are you showing me this particular little piece of the whole entire stage? Like really, it's dumb.
Yeah, the cuts were quick, but not too quick, and they made sense.
Right.
I was actually trying to pay attention to that for a little while just
Yeah.
so I could comment on it.
Right.
Yeah, he did a really. You could tell it was thought out.
Right.
The way
Yeah.
he
There
put
was
this film
only a
together.
couple times where I'm like, I think you could have picked a better shot. But most of the time, I'm like, yeah, okay, this is fine.
And so the last song of this 5-song section here, "Burn."
Yeah.
So slide back down, close your eyes. Sleep a while, you must be tired. But every night I fall, every night I call your name. Every night I fall, every night the dreams are
Is a great song, and it was one that, if you were a Cure fan and you wanted this, you had to buy the Crow soundtrack for many years.
Right.
That was the only place to get it, I guess.
And then join the B-sides.
Right,
That
Join the
came
Dots.
out as Join the Dots. Yeah, Join the
Yep.
Dots.
And this is a song that I have always loved. It's like, that movie, we were at the age, I don't know, I think probably guys like that movie more than girls, as not to stereotype things, but I think, the testosterone in that movie probably was designed to speak more to young men at the time.
Uh-huh.
Because, if you take out all the goth attributes
Yeah.
and the amazing dark soundtrack, it's an action movie.
It is.
And
It is.
So that has always been not an iconic film for me, but I definitely do have remembrances of seeing that in college.
Yeah.
And the music speaking to
Oh,
me
yeah.
so nicely. And this was a great song. So I love seeing it. And
Yeah.
it was cool to see what that little flute sound,
Yeah.
I've always called it a flute sound. It's not a flute sound. It's some sort of whistle or something.
Yeah.
In the beginning of the song, Robert played it.
Yeah, a little double whistle with some colored tape around it or something.
Yep. I like how it's like such a cheap instrument that when he was done, he just let it fall out of his mouth onto the floor. And he probably stepped on it for the next hour.
He's like, yeah, whatever, we're done with this. Yeah, it was cool to see that. I didn't know what they used, and maybe
Right.
that's not what they did in the
sounded just
studio,
like it.
but it did. It sounded just like it. And once again, want to point out the great drumming on this one because it has that beginning drums that as soon as you hear them, you're like, I know what this song is.
Yeah.
And he did a great job,
Yep.
Jason Cooper.
Such an awesome song. It's just, I just said the film's not iconic, but it's great.
Yeah.
And to me, this song is an iconic Cure song. This is like the classic Cure lineup on an awesome song that never found a home on a Cure album. So
Yeah.
it sort of had value to a Cure fan at the time above and beyond.
Yeah, kind of like, I know this song.
Yeah. let me once again just apologize in case anyone takes offense that I was sexist saying that The Crow spoke to men more than women. It very well could speak to women.
Sure.
I'm not saying that it doesn't.
Right.
All right, so we're in the middle of the set list right here, Sarah. We've had a couple reviews come in for our podcast recently, two great reviews,
yeah.
and they both stemmed from the Cure episodes.
Yes.
So why don't we cover those right now, and then we'll get back into the movie and finish up the music.
All right.
All right, so the first one is from the UK site from Mad Modehead.
Ooh.
And it's a 5-star rating, longtime listener.
Yay.
And Mad Modehead says, found this... Wait, let me put on my readers.
Oh, yeah. If you're going to read something, you might want to put on your readers, old man.
They're covered in fingerprints, I can barely see. Found this beautiful, fun, insightful podcast around this time last year. Being a little bit of a Mode and Erasure fan, I went back and listened to all the episodes from my favorites, and then continued until I'd listened to every single episode. Yeah, there are some bands I'm not interested in, Men at Work, Aha, but I still listened. Why? Brian and Sarah sound like they are having so much fun sharing their enthusiasm for music that I can't help myself. I listen while commuting, while working, while sitting at my iMac trying to get a MIDI controller to operate within Lightroom. Spoiler alert, it does.
Oh, good.
It's like a lullaby, soothing, comforting, and always with me. Now here's where the story takes a turn. I speak via Messenger with Brian and Sarah, and I have been convinced to listen to The Cure. Oh, I know who this is.
Uh-huh.
How's it going, buddy? I started with The Head on the Door. Not a fan. Then I took the easy route and listened to the greatest hits. Yeah, okay. I know all those tracks. Then these Disintegration episodes emerged. Although hesitant, I've listened to that album countless times over the past few weeks, and I am hooked.
Woohoo!
I'm not going to elaborate, but I think it's up there with my favorite album of 1990.
Oh, wow.
So you know what that is, because
Yeah.
this is Mad
Modehead.
Modehead.
Yeah.
So that's a big
Wow.
big sentence right there,
For sure.
saying that this album is up there with Violator. Although there are no prizes, he says here, no prizes for guessing which album that is.
Oh, too bad.
Thanks, Brian and Sarah. You've introduced an old man to old music you really should have listened to when all the cool kids did at school.
Oh, I don't know. I think they were the uncool kids.
Instead, Mode were my drug. If I could recommend one bit of advice to anyone, subscribe, listen to all the back episodes, and enjoy.
Wow.
So thank you very much.
I like that advice.
Yeah, me too.
I wish more people would take it.
And I like that review. When I first read
Yeah.
that review, when it popped in our inbox, I was actually kind of touched by that.
Oh, yeah. Right. And when you pointed it out to me, or when you read it to me, or I was like, oh, we have to do another episode really soon.
Yeah, you were like totally inspired.
I was like so motivated. I'm like, we have to get more content out for the people. We got to. I was like, yeah. So it really meant a lot to me as well. Thank you so much.
Yep, thank you, Dave. And then we have another review. I'm going to hand this over to Sarah.
Okay.
We just found out about this one today, and this is exciting from where it comes from.
For sure. Yeah. This is our very first review from Portugal. So, yes, people in Portugal are listening to our podcast. Maybe just one, but
Maybe.
Hey, one's a start. The title is Perfect for Non-English Speaking Music Lovers, and it's a 5-star review.
All right.
And it's from a Portuguese Cure fan.
Cool.
So I guess I know why what they got into.
Yep.
Hey, if you really love music and you want to listen to someone talking about great records and songs, but you're not too good with understanding English, this is perfect. The extras, very nice couple to listen to.
Aw.
Aw.
Thank you.
Yeah, lots of knowledge about music, and you can still improve your English.
There you go.
Wow. Love from Portugal. That's so sweet. Thank you so much.
Yep. Thank you for the kind words and for the love.
Yeah, I never thought of us as being a means for helping people improve their English.
I'm going to have to try to use better words.
I
I say a lot of yup.
Well, I say for sure about 700 times in an episode.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah, I think I do.
Oh. Well, I'm going to try to say yes instead of yup.
Okay. Proper English.
Yup.
But all right then. Well, thanks again for the great reviews. It's always really wonderful to hear from people. Thank you.
Yeah, as someone who listens to a lot of podcasts, I know that it's not convenient to go out to iTunes, or I guess it's called Apple Podcasts now.
That's right.
It's not really convenient to go out there and in your busy day, like type up a paragraph.
Especially if that's not the means by which you listen to the podcast, because a lot of people don't even use that. But that's our means of knowing whether we're successful or not.
Right. So we really do appreciate it because
Yes.
we know it's not convenient and it's not easy. So with the fact that you take time to do it
Yeah.
means a lot to us, and we appreciate it.
And that's why we read them out loud and say thank you, and we really mean it.
Yep. All right, so getting back into the set list, Sarah, we're going to do 16 to 20. We had the rock song, Fascination Street, Never Enough, From the Edge of the Deep Green Sea, and Disintegration.
Yeah.
Those 4 songs, that ends the concert proper. So maybe we'll just stop there.
Yeah.
Fascination Street, Never Enough, From the Edge of the Deep Green Sea, and Disintegration.
Yeah. What a great little group of really rocking songs.
You got that right. Man, I don't even know which one I think is, like, if I could only pick one to talk about or to see, I don't know which I would pick. Because it was great to see Fascination Street. I was like, this is going to be a highlight, I'm sure.
Uh-huh.
And it was.
Yeah.
But then these songs are just as good. Never Enough was awesome.
Never enough. Ever we need to make it real. It's never enough. Ever much to scream and shout. It's never enough. Ever much to do. So let me find it up just one more. Only enough. Just once more. More time to fill it up. One more time to kill. Whatever I do, it's never enough. It's never enough.
And that's where I think Reeves really showed his guitar skills and kind of, again, made his song his own, because he went nuts on that one. His guitar work on that was like super grungy and rough, but it worked so well on that song.
It sounded awesome.
Yes.
I think I might have actually liked that live version better than I liked the studio version.
Ooh. Yeah. I mean, it was really good.
Mm-hmm. And Edge of the Deep Green Sea was awesome. That's a fantastic song.
It is.
I think that's been proven as time goes on to be one of the best tracks on that Wish album.
Yes. It's another really epically long song, and it flows so well. There's so many different sections to it. And it's another really great one to hear live.
Yep, and the best thing I can think of to say about it is that it could have been on side 2 of Disintegration.
Yeah, I don't know where, but yeah. I mean, it's kind of in the same scale, I think.
Yeah. And that was a cool moment of the film. There was like a part in the middle of that song where Robert just sort of let out this scream, and the camera was on him as he started to scream and then just started moving backwards, like into the crowd. Mm-hmm. And he was screaming and the camera was moving further away from him. Yeah. And just stayed focused on him for the duration of the scream.
Yeah.
It was actually a pretty cool moment of film. I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I liked the background that they used for that song too. Looked like the edge of a deep green sea with the sun coming up. And
oh, and speaking of the sun, by this point of the concert,
the sun is pretty much down.
The sun was pretty much down.
Yeah.
That's a shame that we didn't mention this as it was going on, as we covered the songs. You know, the sun is out when the show starts, like we mentioned.
Yeah.
And then it gradually sets as the
as
concert
it does
goes
every
on,
day.
as things do. And it almost gave, like, you know, if you think about it in terms of a film, it's almost like a storyline or something.
Right.
Because this film is just a concert.
Yeah.
But you actually sort of got involved by seeing how the light was changing and how it changed the setting of the film.
Right. Again, from that Rolling Stone article, he comments on the sun. He says,
he does.
I really honestly can't talk until the sun goes down. It's taking up all of my energy not to dissolve into a pile of dust. It's like, which is very, very funny.
He also said that he likes the fact, even though he didn't really like playing in the heat and the sun, he likes the look of it on the film.
Oh, yeah.
Because it makes the stage look like rubbish.
Yeah.
And you can see all the crap and the junk that's all around it.
It's super real.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like almost like you're kind of along the side of the stage, like participating.
Right.
Like,
and so that goes along with Tim Pope's goal of having you be as close to the cure as you've ever been. Yeah. So it's kind of cool. You know, it's not top of mind. I think I've said top of mind like 4 times in the show.
That has been your phrase of the day. Yes.
As you're watching the film, early on, you're seeing all these boxes and blankets and extra monitors and things. And then as the film goes on, you're no longer really seeing them, but it's been in your field of vision for so long that you know they're there, and you're like, well, now the stage looks nice. But you know, I'm friends with Cure, so I know that there's all this crap there too.
Right. Yeah, as you become immersed in the concert itself anyway, it works out very nicely that those things, they become less prominent anyhow.
Right.
So even as your own mind is probably not focusing on them, you don't have the ability to focus on them because of the lighting is changing.
Yep. And Disintegration ends the concert proper.
Yeah.
Great choice.
Yeah.
It was an awesome version.
Oh, yeah.
That song is so powerful live.
Mm-hmm. And again, his delivery was really interesting there. Definitely different from the album version, of course, but he still had the anger, the energy, that just kind of gritty feeling that you want with that song.
Yeah.
And I love the delivery of those favorite lines of mine, through the roof of the moon. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. It must be interesting to, build up the necessary anger in you to sing those words.
Yeah.
And then just walk off stage.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You just have this feeling in you, and then you're like, all right, good night.
I mean, I guess it's like acting in a way, because
Yeah.
you have to put yourself in this kind of emotional mindset to do this performance, and then you have to just turn it off.
Yep.
And that's what he did, and it was really, really well done.
So 4 great songs. Man, they had such a streak of awesome songs in this concert, from Play for Today on to Disintegration.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have changed a single thing.
No, that was great. The last third of the show proper was just fantastic.
So now we have the encore, 10 songs.
Wow.
10-song encore.
That's an amazingly large encore.
Hey, yep. Let's take the first half, Sarah.
Okay.
Lullaby, The Caterpillar, Friday I'm in Love, Close to Me, and Why Can't I Be You?
Very cool selection of songs. I like how, even though Lullaby is like the slowest one of all of those, it still fits in well, I think, because it's like kind of strangely upbeat. It has that kind of, very almost novelty feel. So it goes well with The Caterpillar, because that's another almost novelty song. And then Friday I'm in Love, some other people would say, oh, that's just, bubblegum pop type song. And then Close to Me they have that same kind of vibe to them. They're kind of like fun songs.
Right, yeah. They all flow together. Like
yeah.
That fun song about the spider coming to devour you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
That was a great song live. The stage video with the big spider web and the spider.
Yeah. Yeah. And he did some really cool motions with his hands and gestures during that song. Like I remember seeing his hands kind of crawl up the side of the mic stand like a spider.
Yeah, and then it jumped on his face.
And then he attacked his own face with his hands. Yeah. I laugh because I said to you, he is not anyone's idea of a front man, but the way he can, use his emotions and his facial, just funny little micro expressions, and then his gestures, they really are engaging and they really get you involved in the concert. I think he has this way about him. I don't know what it is, but he's just really good at portraying emotions and energy and just different feelings from these tiny little gestures and things that he does. They're goofy. They're only him. No one else is going to do them. No one else is going to hold their head in their hands and sway from side to side as they sing. But he does that, and it works really well.
A lot of that, I think, stems from his sense of humor. I think he's hilarious.
Oh, I know.
That's why, he and Tim Pope get along so well, because Tim Pope has these crazy ideas.
Yeah.
And Robert Smith thinks they're funny, too. And so he does it.
Right.
And, your sense of humor is not going to help you getting angry enough to sing Disintegration. But so many other tracks like Caterpillar or Why Can't I Be You?
Yeah.
Lullaby. Even though Lullaby is, on face value, a creepy song, there's still humor to it.
Right.
I seriously think that's why he's so successful with that sort of thing, because he is a really funny guy.
That's good.
So the Caterpillar starts out, and I had no clue what was happening.
Here you are.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure either, because it was like a mess of stuff happening, like sounds like, what is this?
Yep, and there was no violin. We're used to that violin thing in the beginning of the song.
Yeah,
so it was just like crazy sounds.
Roger
from the
was going
instrumentals.
all crazy on the keyboard, and then I forget what else was happening. Maybe the drums, I guess.
I think everybody was doing crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And then it all came together into the Caterpillar. And I was really happy to hear this one. I don't think I've ever heard this song live.
Yeah, I don't think that he played that 3 years ago.
No, definitely
No.
not. And I
Yeah.
don't think we have it on any albums or anything. So this was my first time, I believe, hearing this one.
Yeah.
And it's always been a song I really enjoy ever since Staring at the Beach, Staring at the Sea, Standing on the Beach.
One of those things. All of those things.
So that was cool to hear.
And isn't that on the top?
Yeah.
This album that you thought you didn't like. Yeah.
I think you said I couldn't make out what he said, but you said something about, you're getting old. He knows he's getting old.
Yeah, he was talking after he did the song, he was talking about doing the cut. And he was saying something about, as you get older and it gets harder to do that quickly, and couldn't remember exactly what he said, but he kind of, acknowledged that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So Friday I'm in Love, I really enjoyed hearing it. They started playing it and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, this is a mandatory song, I guess, because it's on the radio all the time.
For sure.
but I really liked it. It was
Oh
great.
yeah, and it was a nice follow up. The Caterpillar went into that. Yeah, I think it was a good choice, good selection.
And Close to Me, a song that I'm not a huge fan of if you listen to our Head on the Door episodes, but you know what? I liked hearing it last night.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It was a good performance.
And Reeves did a nice job of contributing there. Even Roger kind of a couple of times tried to replicate the horn sounds that we're used to in the single version of the song.
Oh, okay. I didn't remember that.
Yeah, there was a couple instances where I'm like, oh, good, because when we hear the album version, it's so much quieter or emptier without those horns. I really like the horns in the single version, and we didn't hear them all the time in this live version, but there were some instances, and I'm like, oh, that's good. Yeah, it made a difference.
And then the last song of these 5, Why Can't I Be You?
You're so good, do anything. Kiss you from your feet to where you have it. You're so perfect, so right as rain. You make me hungry again. Everything you do is simply delicate. Everything you do, while I'm jelly hard. Why?
The song that convinced me to buy Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, because I liked it so much, even though I was still terrified of the band a little bit. And so this is one of my favorite Cure songs. Live, it just doesn't sound quite right to me.
Oh.
I guess without those horns, the guitar taking the lead on this one. I still would rather see it live than not see it live because I love the song. But like I said, never enough. I like that live version better than the studio. Here with this song, I like the studio version better than the live. But I still love dancing to it when they do it in concert.
It was a lot of fun.
And we're ready to wrap things up here with the final 5 tracks of the encore, final 5 tracks at the concert. And they are all songs from those early days.
Yeah.
They're not all on that first album. I think the UK release did not have Boys Don't Cry on it.
Yeah.
But they're all otherwise on that first album,
Yeah.
Three Imaginary Boys. So we had Boys Don't Cry, Jumping Someone Else's Train. First time they've played it live since 2011.
Oh, my.
Grinding Halt, same with that one. 10:15 Saturday Night.
Yeah.
They almost played at 10:15 on Saturday night.
Yeah, right.
This note here in the set list says it was approximately 10:23.
Okay.
When they actually played it. And then it ended with Killing an Arab. So these were all great songs. Although in my head, I was thinking, I bet you Reeves is a little bored by these songs.
Oh, you think?
Because I think of these songs as simple.
Yeah.
But I looked up their guitar tablature a couple years ago, and they're not like easy chords.
No.
They're still like A sharp minor or something diminished.
Yeah.
So, although to Reeves, probably those are boring chords. But I was wondering if he finds these songs as enjoyable to play as some of the later things that are more intricate.
I don't know. I think they're still a lot of fun because they're fast. Most all of those are.
Yep.
Yeah, they're all fast.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, they do 10:15 Saturday Night pretty fast.
They do, yeah. It's a lot faster than the album version.
Right, which makes it fit in better with the songs in the rest of the set there.
So Boys Don't Cry is a classic song. Everybody knows it. Everyone loves it.
Yep.
And it sounded great.
Yes.
But I was really happy to hear Jumping Someone Else's
So
Train.
was I. Yeah, I was very excited by that. And I think maybe earlier in the set, I thought that they were going to start that at one point and maybe went to something else. And I'm like, yeah, well, they won't play that. And then here they did. I was like, wow, how cool. And again, they used some of the footage from the original video with the train tracks and you would zooming through the city. And that was really cool.
And we already talked about Jason almost having a heart attack.
Yeah. Jumping Someone Else's Train is bad enough as far as the drums are like relentless and they're so fast. And it's like, oh my gosh. And then they go right into Grinding Halt with nary a beat between them.
Right. That was the only time they did that the whole night through. But at the end of Someone Else's Train, Robert just went 1, 2, 3, 4 and went into.
Did not give him a break. And I guess almost from one perspective, maybe that was better for him to not have a break. It's kind of like when you're in the middle of a really intense exercise session. It's like, just keep going. Just keep going. Don't take a break or you won't want to start again. You're almost at the end.
So I do like Grinding Halt. It's a great song.
Yeah.
However, I would have traded it for Fire in Cairo.
Aha.
I would have loved to see Fire in Cairo.
Yeah.
But I love seeing Grinding Halt.
I don't know, him talking about doing I wonder how well he would have done F-I-R-E-I-N-C-A-I-R-O.
He can still spell. Old people can spell.
I know, but maybe that would have been hard to do live. I don't know.
No.
All right.
No way.
Well, anyway, I did enjoy Grinding Halt. I thought it was a really cool surprise. Again, I would not have expected that at all.
Yep. And of course, a great bass line to that one.
Oh, yeah.
I love seeing Simon running around playing that one. And then we got 10:15 Saturday night, which was not a surprise. If they're going to play these early songs, that's one of the most famous ones.
Right.
And I was just a little surprised. I forget that they play it a little speedier these days.
Yeah. But it works well. Again, I don't think it's done any injustice by having it played faster.
And the last song, Killing an Arab.
And you told me they weren't going to do it.
Yep, I said they don't sing Killing an Arab anymore. They sing Killing Another.
Or Kissing an Arab, I think they've said a couple times.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think I saw that once.
On my live album that I have, they would say Killing Another. But they did. They sang all the words that were on the original track.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I think at this point, they have tried to explain that and apologize and whatever they thought they needed to do. For 40 years, they've been talking about this song and what it really means. And it's like, all right, if you don't get it by now, tough, forget it. We're going to do it the regular way, the original way, and to heck with it. I think that's what they must have thought.
Yeah, I think you're right. And it was a great performance. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It was so high energy.
Yeah.
Reeves was rocking.
When you heard those first guitar notes, that was like, no way. And it was just wonderful.
Yep. And Tim Pope's method of filming that song just got swept right up along with the energy of the song.
Right.
It was super fast.
Yes.
And filmed in a way that, took the energy of the song and probably even improved upon it. Made it even more exciting.
Right. Yes.
And I recall that, I said before, The Walk was the song that I played the most on Cure and Orange. Killing an Arab was the final song of that concert too, I believe. And that was probably the second most watched song for me.
Wow.
Because I love that song. So it was great to see that. The same director, the same place in the set list. That was definitely a highlight of the movie for me.
They had to do it. They had to do it because of the significance of this particular concert. That was certainly in their set list 40 years ago, that same weekend.
Oh, yeah.
That was like, their song. Yeah, they had to do it, and they had to do it the same way that they did it, as far as the lyrics. I was thrilled.
Me too. So that was the full set list for this great film.
Yeah.
We had a fantastic time.
If you couldn't tell already.
Yeah. I would love to go see it again today.
I know.
But unfortunately, it was just one night only.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll be getting a Blu-ray release. I don't know. At some point in time, this physical media is going to stop.
I can't stand that idea.
I know. But hopefully we'll be getting it on a Blu-ray by Christmas, maybe.
Yeah, with the album.
Yeah.
The new album.
And, if you're listening, Tim Pope, I know you're busy with all this stuff, but maybe you can talk to somebody about getting Cure and Orange released as well.
Yeah, while you're at it.
Yeah. So if you saw the movie last night, we would love to hear from you. We're going to have a post on Facebook here to announce the release of this episode, and Twitter as well.
Sure.
And feel free to, if you saw it, let us know what you think. We'd love to hear if you're as excited about it as we are.
By the sounds of it, no.
Right. So, write us a post on Facebook or write it to us on Twitter, send us an email, or call our not toll-free number.
Oh, yeah, you could call the not toll-free number. I always forget about it.
Oh, it's sitting there. It's on your laptop.
And we have a call that I didn't get the voicemail ready to play in the show. We do have one from Nick.
Oh, right. We have to
so we'll play that
put that on the next
episode.
Yeah.
Because Nick, one of the guys that was brave enough to challenge me in Words with Friends and beats me about 85% of the time. He called the voicemail and left a funny message.
Yeah.
So we got to get that and play it on here. I forgot. But if you want to call and let us know what you thought about the Cure movie, you can reach us at 724-490-8324. So, hey, thanks for listening to our emergency episode where we talked about the Cure anniversary 1978 to 2018 live in Hyde Park, London.
Woo!
My new favorite movie of the summer.
Yeah.
So thanks for listening. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you soon with another exciting episode.
We will indeed.
It's so nice to meet you. Hi. Congratulations, the Cure Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees 2019. Are you as excited as I am?
By the sounds of it, no.